The University of Kansas has a very beautiful campus. It is known for their luxurious views and their old style of buildings. But let's take a closer look at the campus. So, cigarette butts are piled all over the place outside of Anschutz's library, and they're not just there, they're all over from the Union to the sidewalks, pretty much everywhere. So, in this speech, I'll be discussing the merits of smoking on campus. I've sat down and interviewed several smokers and non-smokers at the university, and also have seen this firsthand because, well, I've taken the pictures. And I will be discussing the statistics of smoking on campus, the effects smoking has on you as a student and the environment, and also the way smoking bans get put into place and if they work or not. So before I touch on the statistics of smoking on campus, I would just like to say that the University of Kansas is a smoke-friendly area. You can smoke anywhere outside of buildings as long as, well, you're not inside. And according to the Americans for Non-Smokers' Rights in February of this year, over 1,500 universities in the United States were completely smoke-free. And over 600 of those universities wouldn't even allow electronic cigarettes. So we all know that smoking does not just begin in college, it begins much earlier, high school, maybe before that even. But for me, in my high school, you couldn't be on campus or anywhere near campus when you smoked. You had to be at least 5 feet, 5 yards away. And if you were caught on campus smoking, you would be punished in very bad ways, let's put it that way. So the local and state laws that permit smoking on areas generally do not include campuses because they want campuses to create their own identities and, you know, put themselves into the law pretty much. So the smoke-free environment law protects the workers and the students right now, because they're going to be workers in the future, and it tries to keep them out of the reach of secondhand smoke and other toxic chemicals. So now that you know a little bit about the statistics of smoking on campus, here are some ways that smoking affects students and the environment around them. Well, for starters, as I showed you, the piles, they pile up so big where it's hard for even the maintenance workers to take them down and go around them and pick them up. But according to nosmoke.org, 1.7 billion pounds of cigarette ashes, butts, everything are thrown in the trash and put in our landfills year-wide for the entire world. So another way smoking on campus affects you as the students is, well, have you ever walked out of a class or a building and walked through someone else's smoke cloud? And you walk right through it, and you don't hardly think anything of it until you realize, wow, I just breathed in some secondhand smoke. Well, I interviewed Patty Bedoya, a sophomore here at KU, and she had a little incident under Hayworth Hall, and there were several male students smoking in the common area under it, and she got a little ticked off because they were blowing their smoke in her area when she was walking by. She has nothing against smoking, she just really got irritated by it, and she decided to, you know, speak out to me for it, luckily. So, but if a campus bans smoking, isn't that technically, that's against the law, isn't it? Because we're 18, we can go buy cigarettes, anything, tobacco use, and we can do what we want with them, right? Well, according to Jessica Gross, she wrote an article over smoking on campuses. She feels like it also is a problem in that they should be allowed to smoke on campuses no matter what, because it is their right, it is given to them. Well, now that you know a little bit about the smoking and how it affects the students and the environment around them, here's how you can change the rule and make KU a smoke-free campus. Well, tobaccofreecampus.org defines a smoke-free environment as a facility, a property, vehicle, anything that's pretty much anything that's owned by a university that, like, if they are smoke-free, that's their property, it's smoke-free. Well, according to Boston Global, Northeastern University recently, in 2012, put in a smoke-free environment for their university and have had absolutely no issues with it. Nobody has even considered smoking on their campus, surprisingly, and they have not even came up with a discipline for when smoking happens. But little changes that you might see in recent years or months or days here at KU could be anything from signs being put up saying, no smoking here, free smoking here. That could happen any day, any time now, or even little tickets that you get from campus police officers. But, so now that you know a little bit more about the ways bans get put into place, in this speech I talked about the statistics of smoking on campuses, the effects smoking has on students and on the environment around them, and also how bans work. In this speech, I discussed the merits of smoking on campus, and I hope all of you reach out and decide to put an end to it once and for all. Thanks.